All right, everybody. Welcome to the Janitorials podcast. We'll start off with our plugs here. Anything on social media, just search the Janitorials podcast. You'll find us. I want to give a special shout out to the people across the pond over there in the UK. We were looking at the analytics. Numbers are going up there. What's going on, USA? What's going on?
All right.
If you're watching, I got my usual junkyard dogs with me. My man sitting to my left, Joe Bear. What's up, brother?
What's going on?
Jerry sitting to my right. What's going on, man?
What's up?
The wizard over there.
Greetings.
Greetings. Oh, I was expecting the
Right.
threw me off a little bit. Today's topic is what's changed in the last 100 years. That's kind of a broad topic. We're going to just touch on a few things and see where this thing goes. So I'll start off with Jerry. He's got a few things he wants to get with.
Yeah, I mean, this can go so many different ways. Like, we could be here all day. And I have a feeling like it's going to go down a lot of different rabbit holes. But I kind of based like a lot of mine off of how the human race has like survived and what's changed to help it. And for me to start it off is like healthcare. Like how much the medical healthcare has changed and life expectancy has changed.
It used to just be penicillin, right? Like, no matter what you had, here, take some penicillin.
Rub some dirt on that.
Right.
Yeah. Blow some smoke in your ear for an ear infection, that kind of thing. But
Right.
And turpentine.
yeah.
Turpentine, yeah.
I mean, so 100 years ago, the actual, does anybody know what the age like was?
What the
average age?
The life expectancy?
Yeah.
I'm going to guess. I'm going to say 47.
50.
Oh man, you were very close.
Yeah.
You're like right in between. So men are 46, women are 48.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if that's the case, I mean, half this people here are almost dead.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
What the? That's crazy.
That is crazy,
That's
man.
crazy.
But thanks to
Well, then that makes me think, like, what was the number one cause of death back in the day? Then in that time,
I didn't research that. Yeah.
That is a good question.
Yeah. I would think that it was just
fucking flu. Like,
probably.
Common cold.
common cold, yeah.
Yeah. Before the flu was there.
It's crazy.
Yep.
I would have said, well, not on the average, but a lot of women were probably passing away too.
What's the average
Childbirth.
life? What's the average life expectancy today?
Today, so my research went from 1897 to 1997.
Okay.
So back in 97, the average age for men was 79 or 74, and then for women it was 79.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's
Yeah.
kind of like the numbers flipped.
Yeah.
47, 74.
Yeah. Getting an extra life.
Yes.
We get an
So it's almost double.
expectancy.
It almost
30-something years.
Yeah.
And I bet that, and you said that went to 1997,
97.
so now it's probably even further now.
Yeah.
Today?
Probably in the 80s, yeah, now.
No, I would say it's close to 80, to 80, like 78, 79. Yeah. Yeah.
Weird.
I mean, I'm gonna live to be 106.
I know.
Yep. So
I ain't going nowhere.
Tells me every day.
I'm gonna work till I'm 105.
You still look the same. You just got like a couple more wrinkles.
I mean, I don't get any more facial hair or nothing, so I ain't gonna lose any more hair.
That's what's crazy though. It's like a lot of people will keep the same. Some people are just like, "Damn, bro,
Yeah.
what happened?"
I don't know if you have this on yours, but I'll bring it up. The average price of a house
Oh,
in
No,
1922
I didn't get that.
was $6,296.
Man, I could buy like
we'd be balling right now.
Yeah, it says
balling
equivalent today is 77,300.
today.
That's, yeah, so if you paid $6,000 back in 1922, it's like paying $77,000 today.
Oh,
Okay.
Still,
well,
yeah.
I guess you know what
Still
though.
really cheap.
But yeah,
Home foreclosures are like around that price usually. You know what I mean? Home foreclosures. My brother, he got his place for, I want to say, it was less than 50,000. So
really.
I mean, he had to do a little bit of work to it, but I mean, he can live in there while the work was being done. So it wasn't.
Well, like in 1922, was that even an option? Foreclosures? No, right?
No, not at that time.
Because there was only Wells Fargo.
What are you talking about?
How many banks were
Come on,
there?
banks.
I mean, I don't know how many banks, but I mean, if you think about, I mean, this also happened within 100 years, the Great Depression.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, a lot of people lost all their property and stuff. So
Yep.
they start setting up camps during the Dust Bowl. That's another thing that happened in the past 100 years.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many things we can talk about. It's
Right.
crazy.
Well, one that's not like super important, but one that I thought was pretty funny was because of how vulgar everything is today. You know, we're so normalized to sexuality and everything. But no joke, 100 years ago, women's one piece bathing suits were like
Risque.
becoming like,
Show that ankle,
my
girl.
goodness.
Right.
You know what I mean? One piece bathing suits back then was like, you know.
Marilyn Monroe.
That's crazy. I was just at the pool on Friday.
Just a couple strings
I
holding
don't even
stuff
think
on.
I've seen any one piece.
Strings. It's like from the one piece, because I mean, their one pieces back then though was like you had, it wasn't even you know, you had sleeves on
Yeah,
there.
you had sleeves and like the shorts came down on the leg.
Right. So it's not even like the one pieces we have today. I mean,
Shit, this will blow your all's mind. You ready for this? Airplanes.
Right. Think about that, man. The way to travel back in the day was train.
oh yeah, yo, train.
Like you keep saying, man, we can go just almost on
everywhere.
anything like
Well, I guess-
interracial dating. Two of us here are in an interracial relationship.
Yep.
That shit wouldn't have happened in 1922.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it would, but it would just look. It would have been so frowned upon.
You would have to be living in the forest.
Yeah, you wouldn't be out in public.
Yeah.
No. Yeah.
But what's even crazier, going down that road, like if you had children, then either side didn't want nothing to do with them.
Right.
Oh yeah. Both sides of the family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But because there was like,
can see that.
you got me thinking about like that swimsuit thing, and then like the way women used to dress back in the day. They were supposed to like help make the man of the house look more prestigious.
Right.
Shit like that.
So
You know
like,
what I mean?
so like, have y'all seen? So like on YouTube, they have these like remastered videos from the 1940 or the 19. I know y'all have seen them 1900, and they're like from the black and white. They remastered them, right?
I mean, we had this conversation at work. I don't like 80 movies. Like, I ain't watching them back then.
But anyways, in the times that we're talking about, when a one piece were like just becoming like, okay, like you had guys in those times, they had the fedoras, they had everybody
Peaky Blinders,
had
man.
suits. Everybody had suits.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Even on the beach.
Not
you
even
had
on
your
the beach. Like,
tie,
what about like the people that were like shoveling shit? Like, they were still dressed better than what a lot of people dress now.
Yeah. So like I watched, well, I mean, I've seen a couple of them, the remastered, and man, it was so different. It was just so different then. I mean, besides the, the racial diversity and, all that stuff, but like just watching them, man, it was a lot more people out and about than it is today. You know what I'm saying? Like there was tons of people just out and about.
Yeah.
Like going to shops and getting their hair done, and dudes reading newspapers in the streets and,
Smoking cigars.
Right. They're out there smoking, and I'm talking about like
Tobacco pipes and everything.
there's way less people out and about today, I would say, like in one place though. You know what I mean?
The
like
mustache. Let's bring that back.
Oh man.
That was in the 70s.
What's his name? Charles Bronson. Oh man, that's all time. What was his Death Wish?
Yeah.
Come on, man. Come on.
Well, I
That's
mean, if you want
Death
ultimate.
Wish.
Talking about movies,
Ultimate.
I mean, I think they've gotten worse in the last 100 years.
You never seen any of the Death Wishes?
No, they're only getting better in my
Oh
eyes.
my God.
They're only getting better.
What?
Dude, we've had, all right, so everybody, just so you're aware, we've had this conversation on 3 separate occasions, and it ends up in a huge argument to where people get upset and butthurt that they had to walk out. You heard the wizard.
Y'all heard that laugh in the background.
I saw the look on his face when it just registered. It was like, like he just.
I was a part of that.
Oh, the look on his face though. That was great. That was great.
I mean, that's another thing, like how much the movies have changed, like, and how they actually film movies now.
Yeah.
Photography.
So who liked the old school you know,
In the
like
past-
80s. Oh, go
In
ahead.
the past 100 years, photography, film has come out, and now it's completely gone. Like, you don't take pictures anymore.
Right. You don't have like this digital, or you don't have like
Yeah.
the what I don't even know what they're called anymore.
What, the camera?
The disposable ones.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what they're called.
Okay,
disposable.
yeah.
And then,
Kodak-
and then
Kodak.
Polaroids came out.
Polaroids,
You're like,
yeah.
What? Get it right
What's it
now.
called?
Just gotta
Kodak?
shake it a little bit.
Yeah.
Color never was the same though.
Right.
It always came out faded.
Now
Well,
everything's on your
Polaroids.
phone, man.
Yeah. Now everybody's got phone notes.
See,
All right. Well, here's something. So you were talking about like houses and stuff. So what do you think the average American household, like how many people it included in one house
and what year?
within the past, 100 years? So let's go back 100 years.
I say 5 to 10.
Yeah, 5.
I mean, it was like 5 to 10.
What do you
for
think,
sure.
was it?
The families were huge.
Talking about like the 1920s.
100 years ago. So yes, like
Yeah,
1920s.
19.
You got at least 11 people.
11 people. What do you
Yeah.
think?
Really? Okay, you guys are going high. I'm gonna go low, and say 4.
Man, Zach is on it today. So they say 4.8. So we'll round up. We'll say 5.
Yeah, because I was thinking like
Dang.
usually it was just a mom and dad and then 2 kids. Some people had 3.
Yeah, I mean, so nowadays, like
What?
people only have the average is 3. So mom, dad, and 1 kid.
Yeah. Today is 3. Wow.
Yeah.
Damn. I mean, I guess that's where I'm at, right?
So we're down
3.
1.
Down 2.
Oh, it was-
Almost
it was
2.
4?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was 4.8.
Okay. So one on the way type shit.
Yeah.
This is definitely not the farmer family.
No.
No, I mean,
hell no.
But see, like
Right.
you're thinking about like even before the 20s.
I'm just thinking of the farmer families.
Yeah,
Yeah.
same here. Same here. Like the family I come from is huge.
Yeah.
You know.
I wasn't thinking of the city families.
But then like a lot of stuff, like communication just itself has changed. You know, they used to have handwriting classes in school to where you can learn how to penmanship. You know.
Yeah.
And like we
Typewriter
were talking
classes.
the other day, like what if one of your friends just showed up to your house without telling you? Would you be mad about that? Well, when I grew up, just as a little kid, cell phones were out, but I didn't have any. You would just show up at your
Yeah,
friend's
yeah.
house. But
Knock on the
now
door.
it would kind of be like, what the fuck are you doing here?
Yeah.
You couldn't send me like a quick text, like, hey,
Right.
Hey, I'm
cool if
in
coming
town.
over. You know what I mean?
Yeah. My door was always unlocked. We had like that unlock rule.
Exactly.
Dude's door and be like, hey, is such and such allowed to play?
Yeah.
And then
Yeah,
they
that was it.
fucking dreaded that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Shit.
they're like,
Yeah,
is
like-
it? Then they're like, no. You gotta go all the way back home.
Yeah.
Defeat.
My dad's rule was if we weren't home, go in, make yourself comfortable. Dude, one time my one friend, we went out to eat. We come back. We were gone for like 3 hours.
Uh-huh.
My friend must have just came in as we were leaving, type deal. He went ahead and made a pot of chili. Was eating his chili, drank cold beers. When we get home, he's sleeping in my dad's chair. My dad was only pissed because he was sleeping in his chair.
Yeah.
He's like, "Hey, get up. That's my spot."
Yeah. That's funny.
But I had a couple friends like that. I wouldn't even knock on the door. I would just walk straight in the
Yeah,
house.
just walk in the house.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
Weird, man.
It's a different time.
Right.
Different time.
Like education, man. Like a lot of people back in the day, they would drop out. My grandfather only had an 8th grade education.
A lot of people just worked at the local whatever,
Yeah. Quarry for me.
hardware store, grocery store, tire shop.
Guess how much a dozen of eggs cost in 1922?
20 cents.
20 cents?
5 cents.
Oh, man. Wow. Actually, it was 47 cents.
Damn.
I'm off today.
I just went to the store today. Guess how much I spent for roughly a week's worth of groceries?
Well, is it organic?
Some of the stuff, yeah.
Some of the stuff, yeah.
$4.
For a week's worth of groceries?
For,
No, I thought you said just eggs. I thought we were
Oh, no,
talking
no,
about
no.
eggs.
for a week, I say
Shit.
about 120, 150.
I'm going to say we just went grocery shopping today, hoping that it lasts 2 weeks, and we spent 300.
Oh, okay.
It's going to be at least 300.
Close. I spent 250.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's for 1 week.
For 1 week?
That's insane, dude. Yeah.
We average 300 a week.
Shit's so expensive.
300 a week, and it's just you and your lady, right?
Yeah, but
300.
he's eating like all
Yeah,
that
you
organic
got-
shit,
you
man.
got-
So like that, it's all fucking expensive. It's expensive to eat healthy.
I don't get a choice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Came out and I was like, thanks, Joe Biden. Fuck, man. $250?
I did that.
Man, they should make a sticker or something.
And I look right over at the gas price.
Right.
5 something for diesel.
I don't even-
Oh,
$4.99
well,
for
shit. Yeah,
unleaded.
gasoline.
Dude, I
100 years. There you go.
When I got my driver's license, yeah, it was like
Gasoline.
$1.30 a gallon. Something like
What?
that. I
Showing
remember
your
being like
age.
$1.
Yeah, you're showing your age.
$1.19 a gallon.
It was 90.
Okay, I was going to say, yeah, it was
you're
like,
old motherfuckers. Cause
Yeah, no,
it was like almost 3 for
when
me.
we started driving, bro, it was like $1. I'm telling you, it was between like $1.05 and $1.20, somewhere in
Yeah.
between there.
I
And
remember.
you got-
Because I remember when my mom used to get
$1.19.
gas and I would look up, it was like $1.05.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, $1. There was no more than $1.10 because $1.20 was like,
People getting pissed.
what the fuck is going on out here?
Hey, it went up 1 cent.
Right now it's $5 fucking.
Yeah.
They're jumping up at dollars, not cents now.
Hell yeah, yep, yeah.
Seriously, the gas station was higher, and I was like, $18 an hour for managers over there. I'll save a couple $100 a week in gas.
Gas.
I was trying to make like math out of it, you know.
Shit, everybody's laughing. But man,
life.
the last episode we had when we had to go up pick that generator up, I seen that carriage for sale. I'm like, fuck, man, it'd be cheaper to buy that carriage than a horse.
Just take care of the horse. Just
Yeah.
all right, boys. I'll be at work tomorrow.
I am just curious how much y'all
I'm gonna stay all week.
for in gas right now. Living as far as y'all do away from work. How much y'all spending in gas a week?
So I got to fill up twice a week, George. So
I'm gonna stay all week. Hey, we're all like, we're leaving out the back, and then you see Jerry in the back, like he's like messing with the wooden wheel. You know what I mean?
gotta
Like,
grease that axle.
turning it to the side and shit. Like
I'm still at just like filling up about every week and a half.
every week and a half.
But I went from paying about $35 to $40 to anywhere between $75 to $100 in gas now.
Yep. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, bro.
I fill up about like every 7 days, so once a week, and it's about 110 for me. But I have a 22-gallon tank. How big is your tank?
14 gallon.
Mine's an 18 gallon.
Yeah.
And I gotta fill it twice a week. And last time it was roughly $85.
Yeah.
One fill up. It's hurting, man.
But yeah,
it's hurting.
I'll fill up the tank and get a carton of cigarettes, and it's 200.
Tobacco, man. I see you got that raised bed going on. Is that something that
Oh
Preppin's
yeah,
helping with?
he had to start growing his own
Yeah.
tobacco. He's like, fuck this. Going to back, we're gonna start seeing tobacco being
Yep.
hung. you
Hey,
know?
the prepping shows are starting to show up. Hey,
Right.
rub off on them.
Look,
I
look,
mean-
we can do it. We can do it. We can do it.
I'm just getting ready.
We can do it.
I mean, I don't know if he can build a shed or anything here, but
Oh,
we can have a tobacco shed at one of our houses.
We figure
I'll
it
hang
out.
that shit right out on the front porch.
That's something else that's changed in the past 100 years. Back in the day, you didn't have that.
HOA.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Your grass is
Yeah.
1 millimeter too tall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're not that picky, but I did live in an area where they were pissed that I flicked my cigarette butts out.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, when I was pulling up, I seen a lady walking 2 little chihuahuas right in front,
Yeah.
shitting in that little section of grass there.
Yeah. They should pick it up.
Nope.
Of course not.
Yeah.
Fucking.
Here, all right. So this will piss everybody off.
All right, let's get into it.
All right, you ready for
Get
this?
into it. See where it goes.
Yeah. How much money do you think that the U.S. government collected versus in the early 1900s versus what they collect now in taxes?
Percentage wise, or you want a dollar amount?
Dollar amount
Oh.
For the whole U.S.
for the whole U.S.
Yeah, it's tough. That's tough.
Well, just take a big guess.
All right. So back in the day, I'm going to say they collected in 1920.
All right. Before he does, Zach's on a roll. Let's see if he keeps it going.
1922. This is a hard one, though.
Yeah.
Dollar amount.
I'm going to say they collected 30 million.
Ooh, okay.
30 million. These days, they're in the hundreds of millions.
All right. What do you think?
I have no idea.
Wizard, you got anything?
I'm sorry, I was too busy looking at my phone.
So, God damn it. Fucking cell phones, man.
Jesus.
There we go.
100
There
years
we
ago,
go.
the kid would be like,
Attention
sorry,
to
I was too
detail
busy
has
in the
changed,
book.
I guess.
I gotta look at this book
Yeah.
real here.
Son of a bitch. Interrupted a really good part. I'm so sorry, sir.
What is it? Hit me with
What
those
is it?
All right,
numbers.
so the answer is 567 million back 100 years ago.
God,
and today,
Wait.
it's 1.7 trillion. And the motherfuckers are still can't fix that pothole in front of my house. Son of a bitches.
Way off. But so nothing's really changed there. They're still just taking our money.
Overtaxing.
Just a lot more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot more. But you got to think like, wages have gone up. In 1920,
Yeah.
you had like you said, I'm like a shovel shit off the street guy. I had a horse barn down here. Now,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? There's more.
Now, but like, let's think about this. So, do you guys think that history repeats itself?
Somewhat.
You think
somewhat.
we're in a
Yeah.
loophole somehow?
I feel like we've learned certain things not to do, but we're still relearning these mistakes, and then now kind of what's bringing us into, history repeating.
Right.
People trying to do some of the things that couldn't be done before, and they think they could do it now, today's society, or get away with it, like socialism.
So, do you think we're close to having another Great Depression? I mean, it's
No.
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 It's getting close to that
I don't know.
100-year mark.
I'm not sure about a Great Depression, but I know a recession for sure.
Well, that's
I
already
mean,
happened too.
That's what we're living it right
Yeah.
now. These companies right now are starting to lay off, and there's like in the government, there's a hire freeze. So we're showing the same signs as we did in 2008 now, but they call it a Great Recession. So I mean, I've heard some people say that we're going to go through a depression and it's going to be worse, but
I don't think we're gonna have
think
like a civil war again or anything like that. But
No.
I don't think it's going to happen until people actually realize, the masses actually realize what the fuck is going on. As
Yeah.
long as the people keep consuming and spending, what they do have. I mean, yes, right now it's going to be less because there's, less money being spent. But as long as majority of people don't run for the banks and start yanking money out and all that shit, then we'd be in a recession.
I believe it was Benjamin Franklin that had this statement, but don't quote me on it. But he said that, like, get ready for war around every 100 years. And it's been well over 100 years since
For America.
for America.
Yeah. We are
Within itself.
Oh, within itself.
When you think about it, 1776, you had the Revolutionary War. Late 1800s, you had the Civil War. And it's 2022, and we haven't had anything since.
I feel like there's a lot of people who think something is building up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's why, motherfuckers is really prepping for real. Like a lot of people who thought it was crazy before, they starting to see the signs, and then even people who are in the stock market who've been doing it since the 70s, because they said in the 70s, we're showing the exact same signs as we did in the 70s.
Yeah. I mean, you Zach, you got something, you looking like you're like, these motherfuckers can't be farther from the truth.
No, not farther from the truth. I just think I don't see another war. I think I was just trying to think of how I could say it, and I still don't think I can. Like, war has almost changed a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, now you can say like social justice, is that a war? But it's just everything is done politically now instead of with bare arms. You know what I mean? So I don't want to call that war, but
Yeah.
Oh, so they're using their First Amendment rights instead of
Yeah,
their second.
yeah.
Okay, I got you.
you know what I mean? That's what I was trying to think of a good way to say that.
So it's not. So they call it a kinetic. When you actually use physical means to push an agenda. So we're not going kinetic right now. It's just more of a. It's more in like politics and
Yeah, political.
What people, people trying to push these things, these agendas,
Yeah.
or whatever.
And it could be anybody, It could be a 6-year-old kid out there. Could make a change.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to be the president.
Yeah. No. I mean, what's that little girl? Thornburg, whatever. How dare you?
I
know-
have
I
no
know
idea what you're talking about.
Really? Really? I never. The little Greenpeace girl. That's like she was all over the news, national news, like forever.
No.
Wow. Yeah. Greta Thornburg.
I'm an old soul. I don't
Well, this
watch
is
too
all
much TV.
This is
Listen to the radio.
this is all relevant to what's going on today's society. You ever heard of her, Mr. Wizard
Who have I heard of?
Greta Thunberg?
I did. She's a little kid who got really excited about problems going on with climate change.
Okay, so
Okay.
at least someone. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, but nobody's going to listen to little kids.
God damn it.
That's not what we were saying.
God damn it.
That's not what we were saying. But yeah, I agree. Like, she shouldn't even be, she shouldn't be talking that shit. Like, I honestly, this is my opinion, and probably a lot of people are going to hate me for this shit, but I feel like her parents is using her. I feel like she's being used as a tool to brainwash those generations.
Forget brainwashing. Think about how much money they're making.
And she looks like she's on the scale too. I mean, I hate to say it though, but she looked like she's kind of on that scale.
What scale?
That the autism.
On the spectrum.
Okay,
Yeah, the spectrum. The spectrum. She got that. I can't really explain it. You just gotta listen to her talk and look at her and stuff like that. She don't look like she's all the way upstairs, bro. Not completely. And it seems like she's just reading like a teleprompter, or you know what I mean? Like somebody's talking to her.
She would be a smart kid. I don't see any problem with that. I definitely think that, we're cooking up a subject here that's not really related to her.
Oh, it's definitely related.
Well, this is all 100 years. I mean,
Yeah.
nobody was talking about fucking climate change 100 years
Yeah.
ago.
Yeah, you couldn't talk about it because everything was being pushed
No.
by business. Business.
People would have looked at you like you're a they would have put you in a straitjacket and
Right.
threw you inside the
What are you
fucking
talking about?
mental
It's always
institution.
hot in June.
That's the devil. That's the devil changing.
It's different, but
Yeah.
people would talk about. Kids wouldn't be out in the street talking about these things. You had big business pretty much clobbering the small business.
Yeah.
There wasn't small business. Everybody was trying to make a small business and then make a big buck real fast. Kind of like what they're trying to do now with all the same thing with you've got Kickstarters. And then so here I make this Kickstarter and I'm going to sell it off to these. We're right back to where we started, as opposed to collaborations and people like trying to build businesses to actually help one another. And we're 100 years later, we're coming back to talking about unions again.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So what we are is we have a resource problem.
I would definitely
100 years
like
ago,
a union.
we were
right
1.8 billion. Here we are 2019
Okay.
at 7.7 billion people. Like, we have a resource problem. I don't think the kid's wrong.
But are we responsible for our resource problem?
Yeah. Because we keep shitting in the bed. We don't know where our shit goes. We pollute everything.
And we're offshoring our jobs, right?
What shit are we blowing?
Oh, we've been to the problem. Okay, my problem is this: everyone needs to kind of stay where they live, stay where they're at, kind of and figure out where their stomachs are. If you don't know that most of your stomach can't change from where you are born, it's your food source is tied to that. The way you breathe, where you're at, you're tied to these things. We shouldn't be sending food all over the place, all over to be everyone's
Oh, I
needs.
see where you're wrapping this up with. All right, okay. I was like, what the hell is he talking about? Like food in your stomach and shit. But yeah, like, because I mean, we've had this conversation a couple different times. Like, I don't know if everybody knows, but United States tried to get China to process our chickens. So we were going to send these live chickens over in an airplane
Stupid.
for them to process it. They don't follow the same laws of what we do with the USDA.
This kind of stuff,
And then
is
send it
messing up
back.
the fucking climate. Us, like what Jerry's talking about, trying to fly chickens, or put them there on boats, and then send them there. Figure out a clean way to process them here,
Right.
or don't eat that much fucking chicken.
So that's another thing we've done in 100 years. We stopped
We're
doing
overdoing
it,
Stop
here,
doing it here.
in
Yeah.
the U.S.
I mean, Pittsburgh completely shut down. Like, you think about all these big cities that Detroit for
Right.
for automotive,
Yeah.
Pittsburgh for steel. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah.
So the last thing I kind of wanted to bring up was like the way that people would prep their food, and versus like how we do it now. Like, we kind of touched on it now, like how much we spend in groceries. We buy weekly, right? So how do you think people used to do it back 100 years ago?
I would think that they grew. Majority of people, they had their own.
Well, how would they preserve it?
You put it in jars and
can
down
it.
in the basement and
Can
shit
it?
like that.
They can it.
Fruit cellars.
Yeah.
So Do you know in the 1940s that the vacuum sealer was invented?
In the 40s? See, I would have thought that was.
I didn't know that shit.
In the 40s? That's
the 40s.
huge.
That's crazy, right?
When you seen that shit, they thought it was like black magic. You know what I mean? Like, holy shit.
Who invented it?
That's not Tupperware.
I didn't write who invented it. But
What?
I wrote why they've started doing it and how they were doing it was just to keep bacteria off. But they didn't freeze it back in the day. They just vacuum sealed it and like put it in the refrigerator.
1940s.
Yeah.
You had to make. I wonder how many payments you had to make to own that shit.
That's funny.
10 payments of $9.99.
Right.
But yeah, back in the day, they would actually start dry freezing.
Freeze dry.
During the World Wars is when they started dry freezing stuff.
Yep.
To send over to our soldiers.
Yep.
So it went from from canning that started back in the late 1700s, early 1800s, to dry preservative, to vacuum sealing. Now, what do you think the biggest thing is nowadays?
Freeze dry.
No. Chemicals.
Oh.
Chemicals.
Preservatives. Synthetic
Yep.
preservatives or whatever.
Yep.
Dang.
Keep food fresher
Right.
longer, keep that color longer.
Right.
I mean, you think about like when you buy a tomato, they picked it while it was green and they spray shit on it in the truck, to come over to the store to turn it red. I mean, that shit can't be healthy. Man.
Monsanto.
Yeah. It's a wonder that we do live longer than what the people did 100 years ago. The amount of chemicals that get in us. We're preserving our bodies. That's what happened. That's what happened.
We ate so much preservatives. We're just like wax figures. You know what I mean? We're just walking wax figures.
When was the last time that anybody's been to the movies?
Recently,
Man,
actually.
it's been a minute.
Yeah, I love the
Month
movies,
ago.
man.
How much? You don't go?
No, I went a month ago.
A month ago? How much did it cost for?
Oh my God, man!
It was just you and
Hold on,
your
hold on.
lady?
Just the tickets or the popcorn and drinks and all that shit.
Everything.
I mean, you want to count the shit that I hid to come?
No, just what you bought there, and then like
shit
was it
that I
just,
hid?
Tell you,
was it?
it was cheaper in Florida.
Probably, man, because I mean, I went to this one that got shut down during COVID, and it was like a staple of like that town. They did shit different, man. Like they actually had dinner and a movie, so they would bring you dinner. You had a reclining chair.
Yeah.
Oh, you went to the Alamo.
Yeah, it's like the Alamo.
I don't know what the fuck the Alamo is.
It's like the Alamo.
Okay.
For Virginia.
Yeah, but they serve beer and shit there too.
Yeah, that's the Alamo.
So they redid, like another company bought it and they redid it.
Okay,
And
right.
I went to a special one because they had like this special surround sound. It was 360, and we went to see the new. Yeah, we went to see the new Jurassic World movie.
Okay.
Took my son and my nephew, and me. 3 people, 2 kids under the age of 10. $68 and some cents.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
So when me and my wife go, it's $10 a ticket, $10 for popcorn, $10 for 2 sodas. So yeah, it's like $50. Could you imagine taking a family?
Dude,
How much do you think a movie ticket cost back in 1922?
like $2.
Close. Guess? Do you have a guess?
I'm gonna say $1.
No.
$1, Bob.
$1.93.
$1.93.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Hey, you won because you didn't go over.
Right, and the average price. The average price now is $9.10.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's cheap though. The actual ticket itself that I bought was for me was $14 and for the kids was $13.
Yeah, I was gonna say certain places one ticket is
Yeah.
like $14,
You
$15.
started
Yeah.
doing 3D and fucking
Yeah.
IMAX and all that.
Yeah. Dinner's gonna
I
be
mean, and
like
the fucking
20 bucks,
popcorn, man,
25.
that shit's a ripoff. But
I never eat that shit. My wife always wants
can't,
the
man. I can't
wants
go
that
with that.
stuff though.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, I want the
I don't have a bag big enough to like stuff the popcorn in. What's in your bag?
Yeah, we always
Yeah,
get the
fuck
popcorn.
that.
You ever try the popcorn, the butter trick?
Nope.
What's the butter
I don't
trick?
eat popcorn.
Put a straw in there and then put it in so you can get it down at the bottom.
I didn't fucking know that.
Doesn't work. I've tried it every time. Doesn't
Okay.
fucking work.
Yeah, so what I end up doing is I take the butter and I put it in and I shake it up real good and then do it again.
Yeah.
Man, but my son, man, I'm raising my son right. You know how you know when you're raising your kids right?
I can see him. I can see him doing that too
Yeah,
at the
I know.
place. Hold on, Abel.
Using
Hold
regular-
on a second. Get back here.
Are you using regular butter?
Whatever the butter is that I push the button, it comes out.
Isn't it the? Oh well, they got the different ones. They got the little mechanical one, or they got the.
No, this is like a button. You just hold it and you just.
It used to be this one. You just fucking press that. Yeah. You like. All right, guys, come on, just wait. Actually, that didn't sound right. That's kind of sounded like a. Never mind.
Where's the Old Bay?
Hey, Old Bay on popcorn is the deal.
Hey man, I'm
Where's
Marylander.
the Old Bay?
So we've talked a little bit about like how much it's changed in the past 100 years. Let's go forward now. Where do you think it's going to be in 100 years?
Dude, I'm hoping Tesla comes up with a fucking flying car that flies itself, autopilot. Because I will buy that bitch in a heartbeat.
Tesla will probably be
100
bankrupt.
years ago, we didn't have the internet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now we have the internet. I would say within less than 100 years, you're talking about having flying cars. We got self-driving cars coming out right now. All
Right.
within the next 10
Right.
years, we're
Right.
going to have all of this stuff.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying within 100. So
Yeah.
if it happens in 10, great.
Yeah.
I look at it like this. We had no electricity 100 years ago almost.
No, we did. We had electricity 100 years ago.
In the
Indoor
cities.
plumbing, not so much, but we did have electricity.
In the cities.
No, even farmhouses had it. They had the telephone.
Your telephone was just fucking wires.
Right, but I mean, we've had all that.
Didn't
Like
require
you're
electricity
you're
for
thinking
telephone.
about like 1800s.
In the last 100 years ago, it comes only 20 years into the 1800s.
Who's got their phone out? Let's Google this shit.
I think majority. I think there would be more smart cities. I think there would be more smart cities, and then with them putting.
I'm gonna pull my wife right now. More smart. More smart.
We had to block that out.
And we're back.
I think. I think there would be a lot more people definitely having electric vehicles, and we have to get better with the infrastructure. So the infrastructure for all of that stuff will have to be a lot better, or we just fail.
You think we're going to go to Mars and live there?
In the next 100 years,
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't see us. We're going to shit this planet to bed real hard.
I don't think we will. I think the elite will, but I think
definitely.
I think we will be workers.
Yeah.
We can go up there and come back or some shit like that. But to live up there, nah. For the common
It'll be a
people like
lottery.
us,
It'll be a lottery.
I don't think so.
So
Well, that's what I'm saying.
I did a Google.
You
search.
won't have a choice. You won't have a choice.
Sorry, I just want to bring it back. Electricity was invented back in the 1700s, and I Googled when did most houses have electricity in them, and it was in the early 1900s. So 100 years ago, we did have electricity in the houses, but plumbing, we didn't.
It wasn't as you had a couple of wires and shit. And
And
that
who
was,
invented electricity?
Benjamin Franklin?
I was going to say, you mentioned him earlier. I was like, I hope you don't get this wrong.
The kite with the key, my friend.
Yeah. But you
Now we got tasers. Everybody can feel what Benjamin Franklin
hey,
did.
right?
And you were right. And you were right about like the indoor plumbing. My mom didn't have indoor plumbing growing up.
So
She had
my
an outhouse.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what we had on our farm. We had an outhouse.
Really?
Yeah.
all right, so
I mean, it's probably they probably knocked it down, but yeah, as a kid, I used to see it all the time.
right down the road from where we are right now, my dad's side of the family grew up, and his grandmother, to the day she died, never had plumbing or running water.
Man, I love those stories because it's like
Right.
it could be done. People forget where the hell we came from.
And she died in the early 2000s.
Dang.
You know how they got water into the house?
How?
So the rain catchment system.
Yep.
And it ran pipes directly into the kitchen sink. So
How was it pressurized?
It wasn't pressure.
So when
was
they lifted it
gravity
up, it was
fed.
just
Yeah, it was gravity fed.
okay. Was it on the roof or was it just elevated above
So
the house?
so her house was actually in the mountain. So
Yeah.
like her house the rain catch system set up higher than
Oh,
the house.
so she had okay pressure.
Yeah,
had
but
okay.
she still took a bath like out of a I don't know what the fuck they're called, like the little vases and I don't know, bowl and shit.
Yeah. That's I don't know why people frown upon that because we have a lot of waste. We definitely over 100 years now. There's a lot more waste that we
absolutely
we leave behind.
I'm not surprised that you like that a lot. You're always talking about rain catching rain and shit.
I'm gonna go pick something up for him.
Yeah. I got to talk to you about that. Yeah. We got some barrels that we need to go get. So add it to the list of things.
People have changed the last 100 years. Like you ain't gonna find that anymore.
Yeah, for sure. When you used to hold the door open for people, they would say thank you.
Yeah.
But now
They expect it not to.
they don't even fucking look at you.
Yeah.
Nope.
So
You're talking
I'm glad
about
you said that.
colonialization and stuff like that. You're dealing with a world that doesn't want to have to do with the Victorian era stuff anymore.
I love the Victorian houses.
Me too.
that's-
It's a beautiful era.
You like it, but it's colonization. And so what comes with the idea of it?
That and everybody thinks they're a victim. Back in the day, nobody wanted to be a victim. They wanted
See,
to be
that's-
a fucking go-getter.
Right.
So I may get a lot of shit for this, but fuck it, I'm gonna say it anyway. People nowadays, they think they're owed something from what has happened to their ancestors more than 100 years ago, and that does irritate me.
Well, it's victimism. They victimizing themselves.
But still, to this day,
Yeah.
and it probably never happened to them. Like their ancestors had it worse, way worse, but they never seen that.
Not that version of it.
No, I mean you get traces of it.
Yeah.
You get traces, but
I mean,
that's just-
nobody's
that's
getting
just-
hung in the middle of the street right now. Nobody's getting strung up.
Depends on which country you're in.
I'm talking about United States.
that is true. That is true. I mean, I would say for what we know, I would say that it's definitely less percentage, but I can almost guarantee you there's a lot of shit that just doesn't hit the news.
Oh, yeah.
That doesn't serve the narrative and shit. You know what I mean?
I mean, but what we're talking about, that would serve a lot of narratives. You would think that they would shine a lot of light on that right now.
I'm telling you, man, some areas, they don't want that information to get out because then people will look at that area and be like, ooh, don't move there. I mean, you're pretty much risking, that's a political nightmare for your fucking area. So if you're the mayor or whoever, these political folks that are in that town, they're not going to put that information out there because that goes on that public record for that area. Like,
that's true.
Brunswick. Let's look up Brunswick. Let's look at the crime. Exactly.
Georgia?
But what I'm saying is they don't want to publicize it. I mean, it's still going to be documented, but it's not publicized.
Okay, so that's weird though. So I've never seen this anywhere I've ever lived. They had a meeting. It was on the HOA meeting, and they brought in the sheriff, and he had to give off the stats of what's been going on in Brunswick.
Yeah.
For real. He's like, oh yeah, we had two rape cases, a bunch of domestic violence cases, one car was broken into.
It's all public knowledge.
Yeah,
But I've never been on a phone call and had the fucking sheriff tell me this, and this.
Yeah.
That's dope, though.
That is really cool.
That's dope.
I mean, but
because
I don't think I would want to pay for that though.
Pay for what?
That service. HOA.
I mean, it depends where you are,
it's in
how
my
where you
mortgage.
live.
It is?
Yeah.
Like, so it's not an extra fee?
It's extra, but it's just.
But it's
I don't
built
have
in.
two separate things that I
Yeah,
pay. It's built in.
built in. But I mean, I could say it could be a good thing, it could be a bad thing, because if you're, if you don't have time to be fucking mowing your grass and there's a service that's built into your price, it's like, well, shit. That gives them a leg up, this community, for people to come to this community.
Yeah.
Me and my wife, we talked about that a lot. I'm like, man, you know how much time I'd save? Like, if we had somebody come in and just do this.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
We'd have so much more time together.
But then everyone gets to decide. Everyone has to decide.
It's nice, but there's also a I don't want to say downfall to it because they don't have to let you know when they're coming. They just show up when they want to do it.
Yeah, I don't like that shit.
It's just one day there'll be a random dude out in my yard fucking cutting the grass.
Right, you be outside smoking and you're just like, don't hit his back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, fuck that. If I see some random dude out my side, I'm gonna get the dogs.
Yeah, sometimes it is. It's weird.
I'm gonna get the dogs. let Trinity out at that moment.
Yeah. She'll go crazy.
But she's doing her job, man.
No, right. That's what she's supposed to do.
Yeah.
By the way, Trent is my pet parrot, everybody.
Trinity want a cracker? Fuck no.
Fuck no.
So I can't not say this in this episode. So women's rights have really changed a lot in the past 100 years, right?
I know, and only for the worst, man. I remember when men were kings and they were there just. I'm just kidding.
When men were kings.
I'm just kidding. Go
Women have put us in our places. What are you talking about?
Man,
I mean, look back in history. When did America start failing? When women got the right to vote. They can't. I joke around with my wife all the time. I'm like, just look, we let you vote, and now look at it.
We let you vote now.
No, so me and Ashley, our
I'm just
biggest
joking.
arguments that go back and forth, like she's like, well, that's a man's job. And I'm like, well, your kind has fought very hard for equal rights. I was like, so that's a woman's job too now.
Man.
Yeah.
It was crazy because how many times I've seen like debates on, it's a double standard. It's like, oh yeah, we want to do this, but in reality, it's like, how many women are actually engineers? We gave y'all the opportunity, but you want to do this. It's like you have the opportunity to do it, but they choose not to. They choose not to do those roles because it's like a natural thing. They'd rather be doing, clerical or be a nurse. I would think a nurse is nurturing
For our
and women. As far as like taking care of people when they're sick. Back in World War, who was fucking nurses? Not fucking nurses, but who were nurses?
Yeah.
Now, but see,
They were women.
back then though, they didn't have a choice to be soldiers.
Right.
You know what I mean? That was the closest that they can get to the battle and actually help during a world war. So nowadays, there's a lot of women soldiers.
That's what I was going to say. For our generation, I'll agree with that. But I think this generation coming up, it's going to change a lot more. You'll see a lot of women in roles that they don't typically have.
Really, they're going to have to. Because, women outnumber men.
And then back when we went to war, who carried the labor force, God damn it? Women.
Oh, my God.
I'll throw you a bone, women.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did. They had to take
and
jobs.
who took over the professional baseball league?
Yeah.
Oh, damn, did they?
Yes. They didn't want to stop I didn't do much research on this, but I can't remember how many seasons. It might only been one or two.
That movie with Tom Hanks and he's like coaching the first women's team.
I knew you were going to bring it up.
That reminds me of that. Maybe
A League of Their Own.
so.
Yeah,
maybe that was around. That had to be around.
That was exactly it.
That was it.
That was it.
And that was a good movie. It was a good movie.
Yeah.
True story.
What
You
year?
wouldn't have
what
seen
year
it
did that
because
come
it was in the 80s.
out? What year was that?
It was a good movie, huh, Jerry?
I don't know.
Oh, I don't know.
Let me watch it on my high definition TV.
Right.
I just know it ranks up there with Field of Dreams.
Ooh.
I don't know about that.
I'm gonna have to rewatch both of them.
I think Field of Dreams is better.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to rewatch both of them. But yeah, man. They held
He's got
down the
that
fort.
iconic.
Yeah, they did.
You
They
seriously?
did.
I have seen it. I've seen
okay.
it. Yeah,
Yeah, he's seen it.
yeah.
He's
I've seen
I was
it.
gonna say, that famous line from it and shit. Like, there's no crying in baseball.
No crying.
Oh,
Throw her in the showers.
Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah,
Women's rights.
transgender rights.
We'll get to that.
Just saying. Hey, I'm just bringing.
We'll get to that. Hold on.
Let's just finish this
We'll get to that episode.
We'll get to that.
Well, so we have, like you said in the beginning, this one was a tough one to stay on topic because it could cover anything. Right? Everything has changed. In the
I don't
last
think we
100
really
years.
got anywhere with it.
We didn't really go down any rabbit
Yeah.
holes. We just kind of coming up with shit.
Stayed on the
top of our
surface
heads.
where everybody can kind of like think and relate to.
Yeah. So
The Wizards being really quiet though. Really.
I
Quiet.
know I've noticed
We didn't
that.
really cover anything political.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
bring
what-
it up, my
That's
friend.
what I'm saying. This topic it's a good topic because there's a lot to talk about, but kind of not really. You're just throwing everything out there.
Yeah. It's just
A lot of the things that jump back on would have been the stuff coming from automation. our last topics, right? So when
I'm all in favor for that.
we changed from a globally industrial world, we went from one power seeking imperialism to global like imperialism. You can't hear me?
You're cutting in and out.
Yeah.
What about now?
Better.
Yeah.
That's
Okay,
much better.
That's much better. Yeah, so we didn't talk about any shit like that. We didn't talk about anything changing from an imperial society to an industrial powerhouse to changing to global imperialism. We covered all this kind of like stuff that's kind of local to us.
Yeah. Well, I mean, bring some of that up. I don't know too much about that.
I didn't do much research, but I'll talk about anything. I don't give a fuck.
I'm not talking about that. Sorry, I only got 5 minutes left in this segment.
5 minutes left. All right.
Shit. That means nicotine break.
You guys
What are
wanna-
talking
That
about?
means nicotine break.
I'll put my final thing that I'm going to say about this. A lot has changed in the last 100 years, but I'll tell you, I'm going to end it on something that hasn't changed in the last 100 years. The fucking Amish have stayed the goddamn same
No, they have
forever.
changed.
So fuck you. Get with the times.
They have
Get
changed,
with the
though, man.
times.
They have. We can't end on that shit.
That's how I'm going to end it. You go ahead and bring
No,
something.
man.
No,
These guys actually have telephones like
Yeah,
businesses.
they've changed.
They have
They've
electricity.
changed. They've
it's
changed.
only for businesses, but actually at their houses, probably not.
Okay, so
They-
they've
Those
come,
motherfuckers fuck like, there's no end, and they got to repopulate the entire world.
So they've-
good for those guys.
They've gone from
Lucky
1700s to they've come up to the 1940s.
Hey, but those younger kids, man, they all want the fastest horse, just like we want the fastest cars.
That's cool,
Yep.
actually.
Have you ever seen a
what'd
younger
you say
kid
about
do a
Jebediah?
burnout?
At
Like
least
not a
you know
burnout,
you
like a
can't have
donut
the
in a
fastest
in a
horse.
buggy.
No.
It's the funniest thing ever.
What'd you say?
I said at least you know you can't have the fastest horse
Why not?
because everybody thinks they can have the fastest car. You know you can't have the fastest horse.
Bullshit. That 1 horsepower, man. 4 legs.
That 1 horsepower. Hey, I got a stripe on my shit,
Did you paint that on yourself?
My pony's gonna have paint on it. What are you talking about?
Braveheart status, That'd be sick. That'd be sick.
All right, sorry, Zach. Got his.
No big deal. I'm just bringing it up.
I was just bringing it up. Yeah. Well, manufacturing, the inflated fiat that we carry, women's rights, gasoline, or I'll just say inflation.
Man, we
period,
could go
across
so
the
many
board.
down different rabbit holes. I don't want to because we are going to touch on that one topic.
We are going to wrap it up.
Yeah.
Thanks everybody for listening. We ain't gonna have a lapse in 3 weeks on our next shows. We promise.
We're working on it.
It was vacation.
We're working on it.
We had
and
some vacations and
sicknesses.
shit like that.
Yep.
So again, shout out to the UK. Keep those numbers going up. Thanks for listening. We got some hot topics coming up on the next few shows. So
Peace.
peace.